If you want to wholesale houses, you have got to know your market. So before you reach out to an investor, make sure that you've studied the market, you know the property, where it's located on the street, what the position looks like on the street, how it compares to other comps, before you reach out to investors. And when you do reach out to investors, make sure that if they push back or tell you that the house is overpriced for what you're asking, don't argue, don't try to justify the price, don't try to show them tax values and things like that, because tax values in most areas are not accurate and they're kind of irrelevant, because there's so many different factors that go into the value of a house, like the position on the street or the condition that it's in, things like that. So make sure that you know the market, you know the property, you know what kind of cost it's going to take to get it to market value, to get it to sell for the highest value before you reach out to those investors. And when they push back on your price and tell you that you've got it priced too high, and especially if you're consistently hearing that from other people that you send it to, instead of trying to justify the price or try to sell, ask questions and say, well, why do you think, or just ask them what the reasoning is for their price, why they think, that value is there, what are they looking for, what is it about the house that it creates that price point that they say it needs to be at. So make sure that you ask questions, find out what the investor is seeing, why they think the house is worth less than what you may have it under contract for, what they think it's going to take to get it to market value, how they think it compares with other comps. So don't argue, don't justify, don't try to sell. Ask questions, listen, and learn, especially if you're new to the business. The more you push back, the more you try to justify an inaccurate number, the more you convey that you don't know what you're doing and that you don't have any experience. That investor will never take you serious and will not look at anything that you have in the future, because they know that you do not know what you're doing. So make sure, number one, before you reach out to your investors with a property, you know the market, you know where that property is located on the street that you have under contract, know how that compares to other properties in the area, know how it compares to tax values, know your cost in terms of what it's going to take to get that property to market value. The number one mistake most wholesalers make is they don't know the values and they don't know what the repair costs are realistically, especially right now with the way construction costs are, to get a property to maximum market value. So be a seeker of wisdom, always be a seeker of wisdom, looking to learn in every situation. And if you're getting pushback on your wholesale prices, you need to understand that you just are off, and you need to go back, do your homework, ask questions from the investors, and then you could potentially go back and renegotiate with the seller and just show them what it takes to get max value. And you're just locking those things up at the wrong price, and a little bit too high. So you got to work a little bit more, a little bit harder, talk to more sellers, and get real opportunities in order for you to be successful as a wholesaler. So be a seeker of wisdom, educate yourself, understand what you're doing, and how that property compares to everything else in the market before you reach out to your investors.